Lamb boy. And I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seems, man. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming.
Peace and love. Peace and love. To all the guys and goddesses and the high vibrating species on the planets, what it is, what it do, good people. How we living out there, man? How we living out there, man? How the world treating y'all? Huh? How's the world treating y'all's, huh? Cause we live in the city and we is vibing high over here. You know what I'm talking about? I hope y'all doing the same. And I mean, and that does not necessarily mean partaking of the tree, because if you do not partaking of the tree, do not partaking of the tree, and I do not condone it to you. So it's a whole other sense when I say vibing high. You know what I'm saying? Or high vibing. And I put them both together, then you already know what it is. It's intertwining them both, and that's for those that do that. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you're doing good regardless of any of that. I hope you're doing real good. All of y'all. No matter where you at. And I appreciate you being here for me. With me. Y'all ready for this? Okay, we got SCP-205. Shadow lamps. Some shadow lamps. Excuse me. Damn, looks like I knocked it over toward the sounds. Me personally, I could take this any direction, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we're dealing with the paranormal side of things, I could go a lot of different directions with this. So I'm not even going to take time to assume any of that, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just pull up a chair. I salute to you, Academates. Welcome back. You know what I'm saying? Welcomes back to the channels. You know what I'm saying? Come on in. This is what we finna do. You feel me? We just gonna dive on into this one. And see what it is that's in the shadows of these lamps, and see what kind of lamps they are, and what happened to the lamps. They got them in such a condition that would make them Euclid. So this could be some magic. I say that this could be magic, but we're gonna find out. So hope you got what you need, because I do. Without further ado, let's get to what it is that we do. Bustin'.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-205.
Oh, yeah.
Object Class
7.
Euclid.
That's a 7.
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-205-1 and SCP-205-2 are contained within Chamber 52 at Site 23, under regular observation via the adjoining observation room.
We got 2 of them.
SCP-205-1 and SCP-205-2 are to be supplied with power and face the white projection screen on the wall opposite the observation window at all times. Chamber 52 requires monthly maintenance to ensure the continued operation of both SCP objects, their power supply, and remote activation controls. Replacement parts and bulbs are kept on hand in the chamber. Maintenance is suspended during the final month of the SCP-205 cycle, occurring in April and October of each year. Should power to Chamber 52 fail, it is to remain dark and sealed for a period of 30 days before local security enters to re-engage power.
April and October. Okay, so yeah.
For continued observation and containment. During maintenance, it is critical that only one of the SCP-205 pair is ever turned off at a time. Should both objects lose power or otherwise cease normal operation, the chamber must be sealed for a 30-day period before local security may enter to re-engage power and retrieve the remains of any personnel lost in the chamber. Pending 05 review, testing and observation is to continue before SCP-205 is to be moved to permanent storage. Description: SCP-205 is a pair of flood lamps used in photography. The light emitted by each lamp behaves in a manner unique to SCP-205 and passes completely through any surface that is not colored white. Once the light contacts a white surface, it scatters and reflects as normal and loses any unnatural properties. If the light continues uninterrupted through any matter, otherwise casting no shadow, each lamp will display an unidentified young woman's shadow upon any flat white surface, such as the projection screen in Chamber 52. Whether or not this shadow corresponds to any living or dead has yet to be determined, although the shadow appears to reenact a specific series of events leading up to the woman's death. Even if the lamps are slightly moved, the shadow remains distinct and does not lose focus or move along with the one lamp or the other. Only one shadow was cast, although a physical person standing before two lamps would actually cast two shadows. When supplied with steady power and maintained, the SCP-205 pair will go through a 6-month cycle that ends on April 30th and October 31st of each year. Neither the inclusion of an extra day during a leap year nor intermittent operation failures change these dates. Thus, SCP-205's cycle appears to be tied to the standard calendar rather than a set passage of time. SCP-205 will shut off at midnight on the final day of each cycle. Any persons entering or already inside Chamber 52 when the lamps are both turned off are violently assaulted by forces unseen in a manner consistent with the fate suffered by the Shadow Woman, regardless of any other light sources in the room. If the lamps are shut off at the end of a standard 6-month cycle, they can be remotely activated to immediately end the danger and begin a new cycle. If the lamps cease operating for any other reason, Chamber 52 will remain dangerous and must remain sealed for at least 30 days regardless of the status of SCP-205 itself. During a dangerous phase, any equipment in the room is often ransacked, but although SCP-205 itself has sometimes been moved, the lamps are never damaged. On 2 occasions, were carved into the walls. This strongly implies that displaying an awareness of current containment procedures. Overview of SCP-205's cycle. For the first month of operation, SCP-205 will display a still image of one woman in a provocative pose. Although variances have been noted in the pose and clothing of the woman, the individual displayed appears to be distinct and consistent through all cycles. During the last week of the first month, the shadow will begin to move slightly as if the individual is shifting her weight or becoming uncomfortable. Her hair and clothing will be observed to flutter in ways that do not correspond to any movement of the atmosphere within Chamber 52. By the end of the first calendar month, the shadow will break her pose and spend the next 8 hours moving through a series of poses that imply a photography session, complete with clothing changes and short breaks, sometimes including a meal. After this session is over, the shadow will constantly be in motion for the next 5 months, displaying a pantomime of the last days of a young model's life before she is brutally murdered at the end of the cycle. The shadow of the woman never moves beyond the boundaries of the projector screen. The shadows of objects that the woman appears to be interacting with do not appear unless they are being picked up or carried. And with the exception of the final month of the cycle, any other individuals that the shadow appears to be interacting with are not seen. Although the cycle is slightly different each time certain consistencies are observed, the individual portrayed appears to have taken up photography as a hobby, in addition to being a fashion model. Her behavior implies a great deal of social interaction, although with a lack of intimacy and behavior that indicates living alone, rather than with a family or a partner. One implied sexual encounter with an unseen partner occurs in the second or third month of the cycle, and exactly 66 explicit sexual encounters occur in the final month of the cycle. During the last month of the cycle in April and October, shadows distinct from the young woman are displayed. These shadows all have exaggerated nude male physiques and horns projecting from the cranium, although no phallus is ever observed, even during the sexual displays that take up the final days of the cycle. Only one shadow appears at first, interacting with the woman in a manner suggesting that they have met at a party or a social gathering. The woman does not appear to notice the unusual nature of the other shadow, and plays out a series of varying romantic interactions with it. The horned shadow will return to dine with the woman, engage in silent conversations, and accompany her on outings. One recurring event involves the horned shadow introducing the woman to at least two other identical horned figures. After the second week of the month, the woman will take photographs of one or more of the horned shadows during one of their outings, always with a non-digital camera that has been consistent through all observed viewings of the SCP-205 cycle. After this event, explicit sexual encounters will begin between the woman and one of the other figures, increasing in intensity and frequency until the end of the third week. During the final week of the month, the woman appears to develop the film in her camera for the first time since photographing the horned shadows. Her reaction to the photographs is one of shock and horror, and her movements afterward suggest that she attempts to flee and seek shelter behind a locked door, presumably in her home. There she is encountered by multiple instances of the horned shadow figure, which assault her repeatedly for the remainder of the week. It is strongly implied that she is killed during this process, although the assaults will continue until the end of the cycle. On the last day of the cycle, one of the horned shadows begins to grow larger, in a manner suggesting that the figure casting it is approaching the SCP-205 lamps directly. It will eventually overcast all other shadows, and at this time, both lamps will be physically turned off, regardless of any modifications made to prevent a halt in operation. Addendum: SCP-205-1 has been in the Foundation's possession since. SCP-205-2 is identical in every way, including the serial number. It was discovered in a ransacked motel room No sign of the identity or whereabouts of the occupant have been found, although a similar camera to the one displayed in the 6th month of the SCP-205 cycle was also recovered. Most of the contained film was ruined by exposure. See attached photo for the one image that was developed from the camera. Incident 205-76B. On October 28th, SCP-205-2's bulb burnt out. Researcher M was sent into Chamber 52 to replace the bulb during one of the climactic assaults. Upon the opening of Chamber 52's door, all horned shadow figures within view ceased their activity and returned towards the door. Researcher N resealed the chamber and refused to enter to perform maintenance. Shadow figures did not resume their usual activity for approximately 3 hours. Incident 205-77-A. On April 28th, SCP-205-2's bulb exploded. Shadow figures ceased all activity and looked towards the chamber door. No staff were dispatched to replace the bulb. Chamber 52 sealed and abandoned for 30 days according to procedure. Okay. I only have one question. Who uses a non-digital camera anymore? Okay, that about does it for today. Thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Okay. Granted that he is well familiar with these things, I mean, I guess his mind would be stuck on the lame camera. That's Dr. Miller. The camera. out of all that, the camera. Let's talk about the shadow figures and the magic that's going on with these two items right here in the shadow world, in the shadow realm. Let's talk about that. Can we talk about that? Academates, what y'all got? What y'all got to say? What y'all think? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is? I mean, what is this? What is this right here, man? What is this? Hypothetically, what is that? What y'all call that? I mean, it's almost like a minotaur without the actual bull goat bottom. Or almost like listen, I don't want to. Oh, okay, man. That's. I mean, cause dude, look, let me. I'm just looking at Buddy torso right here. You know what I'm saying? Like his chest right here. Like he look like he got sold up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this. Like these giants got sold up on these people or something. And or they into some. Or they into some beastie. Okay, listen. I'm just checking out the files. That's it. That's all we here to do is check out the files. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop a couple of dissertations on some of this stuff, but I mean, what I mean, come on, guys, y'all, let me know. What are you thinking? Cause that looked crazy, bro. Like, then she got murked. Then y'all saying she got murked. I mean, but see right there, that look like it could be a little mask or something. That's why I'm saying, like some little skins or something. But I'm also looking at these little pale bodies right here, though. You feel me? Like, I'm just trying to see without, see? Yeah, okay, well. Yeah. Him damn near dehydrated right here. They need to just go and put them things up in the damn closet, bro. I don't even know why they even playing with that. I don't even know. Yeah. Y'all just need to go and put that in the closet. Because whoever set this up, they knew exactly what they was doing. I promise you. And it's I got, like, I'm starting to get this feeling like there's gonna be a lot more that would come out of that if y'all keep playing with that. There's gonna be a lot more out of that y'all keep playing with that you're not gonna be able to explain. Cause you can't even explain this part. You can't even explain the aspect of it being two lamps identical, casting a shadow like a projection screen, showing the life of someone that you don't know who it is, but you can just by looking at the display, what's going on, you can pretty much summarize, okay, she's doing this, excuse me, but then you got these shadow things start popping up, so I mean, instantly might as well, it was just a devil, you know what I'm saying, like, nah, and then all of a sudden you get pictures like this, and it looks nothing like the devil, because you're gonna be surprised what the devil looks like when you see him, but they look like bulls to me. Minotaur, I would say freak accident, but the fact that there's some actual freaks on the planet that's axing shit. And then you got this whole splicing bit. And because people, man, listen, cause hey, listen, man, listen, okay, listen, people, we ain't gonna sit here and act like motherfuckers ain't crazy out here, man. We trying to get into some crazy stuff. We ain't act like that now. We ain't act like people that ain't into some stuff out here, okay? And a lot of things that should stop. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm telling you, man, people's minds are twisted. It's man. Like fantasy, you know what I'm saying? Like people's minds is twisted to want to, you know what I'm saying? To get into this whole, they get into all the way into character, so they go out and do some of the wildest stuff, man, to themselves. And God, boy, stop this nigga. Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, look, man. Look at this thing in the foot, man. Look at this. Look this thing and listen, class, I want y'all to look at it. Get real close up on the screen and look this thing in the eyes and tell me what you see. Cause I can tell you what I see. That's the triple blackness right there, boy. That's all chaos right there, boy. You gonna yeah. And that's why it's in the shadows again. You know what I'm saying? That's carbon, that carbon, that's pure, you know what I'm saying? And it's 3 of. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just it's chaotic energy. It's almost like an energy that can't be controlled. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's one of those things, like it's something that you shouldn't, if you don't understand it, you shouldn't mess with it. That's what I'll say. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna downplay carbon. Like that'd be like downplaying myself. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't understand it, don't mess with it. But that's what I mean. Once you start getting into it, it's gonna boil down to that. And that's all I see there. That's all I see there. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, these are just regular blackouts, but then you can get right up on this one where you can see the light flash, where you can actually take a good look at that. Look that thing right in the eyes, y'all. Is that something you're trying to run into? Is that something and like I said, people out here going, boy, you know what I mean? Head on the swivel. Don't forget to keep yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protected. You know what I'm saying? Please do not let the world drive y'all crazy, because I am not. We're gonna keep going through these files because it's amazing. This is amazing, y'all. It's like hey, I'm amazed. I am amazed. Like I don't know if this is like I don't know if these are like trapped spirits. I don't know if that girl's soul got trapped in this thing. Like that's like a spirit or something. Like that's what I'm trying to think. Like, how did this happen? This has got to be magic. It's got to be magic. I said that in the beginning, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You know what I'm saying? I said that in the beginning, right? It's got to be magic. Just like shadow lamps. I'm automatically thinking magic. As soon as I see the title, I'm automatically thinking magic. Then I see the 205, the 2, the 5. You know what I'm saying? That's 7. Then so that's automatically telling me that this spiritual in nature. And here we are with 3 what people would call demons. Could easily be jinn. Easily. This easily could be jinn. Easily. Or something. But just because you see horns don't necessarily make it the devil. You know what I mean? It's really, you really got to see the actions. See what it said by the fruit. You be able to tell. You know what I'm saying? By its fruit. And that's basically its actions or its children. You know what I'm saying? That'll let you know what type of character of a person that you dealing with, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's other things that you should look at, of course, but for the most part, you know what I'm saying? When it's kind of trying to like feel, not necessarily judging, but feel for character, because you don't want to overjudge or underjudge anybody's character, because looks could definitely be deceiving. Just like this could be real. This could be a whatever, but we're here to check it out regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because even the stories about some of this stuff is intriguing as hell. I can't front about that at all. But yeah, these things don't look like nothing to play with. And then you're trapped in the shadows, and they know it. So it's intelligence. So that's another thing that we got to take into account. It's two lamps, but I mean, it's not the lamps though. It's what the lamps have. They didn't really tell us what the lamps were made of completely. You know what I mean? Like they just, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know. These could be emeralds. These could be rubies. Something that could trap such demons in it. Or entities or deities. You know what I'm saying? Spirits could get trapped in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And they capture the moment. And that's how this whole mechanism comes to play out. You feel me? So, because when it comes down to magic, y'all, it's things. Listen, sometimes you got to go through some things to make some things happen. And especially when you dealing with such things, you definitely got to go through some things to make sure you're good before you even go playing with stuff. That's why on the paranormal videos, on down, you know what I'm saying, y'all, down in the other section in the playlist and stuff with the paranormal section, I be telling people all the time, hey man, you know what I'm saying, some things you just don't play with. Just leave that alone. Just let that low. This right here, they just need to go and put that in storage. They don't even try to figure that out. I mean, because it's gonna be at the cost of D class. D class gonna have to, you know what I'm saying, and they gonna get messed up. Now y'all already know how y'all be throwing them right up under the bus. Y'all throwing right up under the bus. Y'all know how y'all doing. D class, y'all better watch out, man. It's like 3 bullets in there. You know, I don't, you know what I'm talking about? They look like they'll ramsack you. Okay, mates. Peace and love.